members of the big pile.
Becky?
This question is for both Warren and Ajit. It comes from Jason Plonner in Livingston, New Jersey. He says, in 2016, you entered into a very unique transaction with AIG where you assumed up to $20 billion of liabilities in exchange for about $10 billion up front. Can you please provide us with an update on this transaction in light of the increase in interest rates? And then in Tokyo just a few weeks ago, you talked about the risks of banks with assets that were susceptible to rising interest rates. Any insight as to how Berkshire liabilities are susceptible to duration would be appreciated.
Is that directed to Ajit or me or what?
Both.
Okay, let me introduce it my one thing, and well, Ajit is the key to this. He's the one that put the deal together. But we got handed $10 billion, we'll say. But we weren't restricted to putting that into bonds. So what the exact interest rates affect us to some degree maybe in terms of the terms of the deal we did with AIG or anybody we would do a similar deal with like that. But we don't have to put it in matching bonds or anything of the sort. It goes into a general pool of assets, which we manage, and the assets, the liquid assets now are 130 billion plus, but it goes in. So it is not set aside in some little compartment like people like to think. Now, any other insurance, no other insurance company could do it, but they can't think that way. They aren't even used to thinking that way, but they can't think that way because they don't have our balance sheet. We account for 26% or something like that of the net worth of all property casualty companies in the United States. So far, the payments that we have had to make have run modestly, and Ajit will correct me on this if I'm wrong because he paid a lot of attention to it. But the amount we have had to pay has run slightly below the amount we anticipated having to pay in terms of our share of the losses. But it served AIG's purposes. It came to us where we are in a unique position. There's nobody else that was able to write that, just like when we took on the Lloyds. I mean, Lloyds said there was no choice other than Berkshire Hathaway when they essentially resuscitated their market by laying off a lot of liabilities on Berkshire Hathaway. So we won't see those deals very often. If they're for $500 million or something like that, somebody else will go in there and offer more money, and everybody's looking for money on Wall Street. But if they start talking with a deal like the AIG